how to use a trucking GPS. So we get our loads via the Qualcomm, which I'm not going to show you because that actually tells you what customer we're going to. But for the sake of argument, how do I get places? What I am going to do is I'm going to use our fuel routing list, and I'm going to make a route that we're not really going to drive utilizing fuel stops. So this is how you can use a truck GPS. Back in the day, yes, we used to use a map. Disclaimer, I am still old school enough to believe that you do need to use a map. There are a lot of advantages to maps. There's also advantages to knowing how long it actually takes you to do things, but this is a tool. And with this tool, you can actually improve your efficiencies with some simple use. This is how. So this is once the GPS starts, it's plugged in, it has its connectivity. There's a Bluetooth. It does a whole bunch of stuff that we don't actually use because that technology. But we can go into settings. So we have updates, tractor profile, map and vehicle, navigation, sets route preferences. So our vehicle profile, we go in there. We do have a 14-foot trailer, so this is us. You can do it for a car. Your times will be messed up and it will tell you to do some really messed up things because car. Here's normal tractor trailer. So we are a sleeper. So it has dimensions. We're 8'6" wide, 13'6" tall, 65 feet long. We weigh 80,000 pounds. In this configuration, which is what we are right now, we still have an 80,000 pound gross weight. We don't really weigh that. We're 65 feet long, 14 feet tall, and 8'6" wide. So I'm going to select that because that's what I want. Then I can go map and vehicle and set those. So vehicle icon show on the map. Honestly, ours looks like that. It's awesome. You could change it to be a cab over if you want, but we like that. I'm just gonna go cancel. Driving map view, 3D, north up or track up. You can set that how you want. Map detail, map themes, tools, layers, zooms, all of that. Traffic, driver assistance, navigation. So let's talk about route preferences. We have it do a route preview. There's a calculation mode, brake planning. We do use that, but because we're a team, it doesn't work out so well for us. Avoidances, U-turns, carpool lanes, unpaved roads. We can do custom, dispatch and track auto start session when route begins. There is a thing down here for toll roads to always ask, environmental zones, restrictions, GPS simulated for indoor use. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Navigation, route preview, brake planning. We already did that. Yep, we already did that. All right, let's go down. Wireless networks, that's if we want to connect it to our phone or to the Wi-Fi. We do have Wi-Fi in our truck. It's cool. The display thing, it automatically changes at night, which I love because it'll go to this mode instead of the day mode, which is a whole lot brighter and easier to see in the daytime. That is a cool feature of this that we didn't factor in. We got it, but it's been great. So where are we going to go to? So if we view a map, that's where we are right now. We're sitting at a truck stop. It's got roads, there's places to eat, stuff like that, just like a normal GPS. So let's go back. Where to? We could hit recent ones, we can hit truck services, or we can go to the trip planner. So how do I actually know when I'm going to be somewhere? Well, one, I have a brain and I know how long my turnaround is going to take. But if you don't know, hit the trip planner, start new trip, select start location. Let's just pop where I am now. Gives me coordinates. I am in Southern California. Imagine that. Select, add a location. Let's say I'm going to go enter search. I want to stop there. So this is a stop that we use. This is the truck stop. It's got a Wendy's, but it is one of our approved fuel stops. It's 309 miles away, so now it's going to calculate. It's going to do that. Now let's add another location. Let's say from there, we're going to go. You can't see where your finger's going. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. All right. There it goes. So it appeared. So we're going to click that. Select. So now we have where we are, which is not really accurately where we are. It's the street over on the other side of that dude over there. But it's close enough to get you where you want to go, because all we're doing is routing from here. So this is a truck stop, which is why we're using it. It is the Patterson Flying J. And then from there, we're going to go to the Pilot or the Flying J in Aurora, Oregon. So from there, we can continue to add locations depending on how many stops you have, and then select destination. So let's say we're going to end at Jubitz, which is 10210. North of me. No. Okay, so this is the Jubitz truck stop. There it is, 840 miles. Select that. So now we can preview our trip itself. We have our current location based on GPS coordinates alone. We have the address, I can put it in there, but it's not relevant. To a fuel stop, to another fuel stop, to a last fuel stop. Next, it's going to do this whole calculating route thing. And then you sit there and wait for it to spin and like its life. And what this is doing right now is it's calculating how can I get there within the constraints and limitations of my vehicle, which is a really cool thing. So back in the day, we used to have to take a road atlas, and then you would have to really watch for clearance signs. Fortunately, where we are, most things are 15 feet. I think the shortest thing that we go under is 14 foot 11. Once it's done, there's a truck, there's north, which way that arrow is pointing. That truck is generally how we're pointing. We're down by LA, which is pretty accurate. We're just going to run I-5. So then we push save, and then I'm going to name it test. And then push done. So it's going to say tractor trailer 2, which I know is the 14-foot trailer. Going to do all of this so I can see where I'm going. So I'm going to go from here to Patterson to Aurora to Portland. Now, if I actually had to get fuel in all those places, trucking would be horrible. Fortunately, I don't. I have to go to Sperry, and then I'm going to go straight up to Portland. But for the purposes of this, we're playing, because I don't want to just put customers' addresses on here. Then we're going to hit go. Select next destination. So it's going to ask me, do I want to go to here, to Sperry, to Ellen? Say I wanted to skip a stop. This is how I would do it. I could just go, boom, I want to go straight to Vancouver Way. But we're going to go there. Now we're going to push OK. Now,
please drive to highlighted route.
It says 1633. Right now, if we were to leave this minute, it would be 1633. Now, under here I can change. So I can tell it to do a whole bunch of things. I can do turns, stuff like that. I can change arrival time. So it can show me arrival time, time to my arrival, destination distance, via point arrival time, time to via point distance, next mile marker, direction, time of day, or elevation. So it is 2154. And it says that we're going to get there at 1634, which, if we don't actually stop, is great. Now, let's say we did stop. We can go to blow all that up. We can go to Trip Planner again, save trips, go back to the active route, and then something generally important, test. Okay, that's where we're going. So we go. I had to go down to test. say I wanted to skip that because I found out I can, and then I want to hit Vancouver Way, and then I push OK, and it will just route directly there from that point. I don't have to actually go and stop at stops. I can force it to change. That's where I was going with that. And then stop, where to, trip planner, save trips. I'm done with it. Delete trip. Gone.
Please drive
So tomorrow,
to highlighted route.
by 5:38, we would actually be able to complete all of this. Obviously, that's not going to happen because we have load and unload times. Stuff changes. But realistically, it is a very convenient tool to have. It's a great thing overall. We just set it up the night prior in this case because we actually have a planned layover. So one of the things that we'll do is when we get our load and whatnot, we'll set all this up, plug in everywhere that we have to go, and then you don't accidentally space cadet and pass the fuel stop. Because while you could space cadet and you still probably have about 1,000 miles, you just don't really want to push it. So that's how to use this particular GPS. It's the Garmin truck GPS. This is the smaller screen one. There's the bigger screen one. They're like $300. Is it saving us $300 worth of aggravation? Yeah, it is. Because if we go into the settings, our tractor profile, we can click this little wrench. We can actually adjust speed. So enter the max speed, 68. We cannot go any faster than that. That odometer reading is wrong. That's just how many miles it's recorded us driving since we got it. And then there's our tractor number. We can add VIN, trailer number. This thing is capable of being your ELD also. It's one of the features that it has. But as it says, it adjusts the routing and arrival time. If we had hazmat, we could tell it what hazmat we have. It would adjust our route. So we can tell it number of axles. We have a steer axle. We have 2 drives and 2 trailers. Enter number of axles, 5. I don't think I want to mess with that. Anyway, it just provides additional tools so that you can route yourself. It won't run you through a residential neighborhood. It may seem like it does. So we do pick up at a bakery that is almost in a residential neighborhood, and one of the weird things about that is you are driving, that full-blown, like that dude over there. That's kind of what we look like, right? You're driving that through a residential neighborhood. That's a little sketch. It is what it is. But this overall prevents you from doing something like, oh, hey, we're just gonna highball ourselves right through the, right through a residential neighborhood, that kind of deal. So I go back to my save trip.
Please drive to highlighted route.
So now it says configuration for vehicle profile has changed. Because I told it how many axles we are. Is it actually going to change anything? No. Not at all. Not in this case. But if you do things like go to the Oregon coast, some deliveries that you might make on the Oregon coast are going to be a little bit different because there are some bridges where your bridge law will change how you actually get there. You'll have to run, you can't leave 101 in as many places. You can't use as many arterial freeway or highways to get around it. It's just something that you'll have to consider.
Please drive to highlighted route.
So there it is.